Whew. Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
It's Kui Mich.
me.
What is your energy? Why are you like this?
I'm not even.
Is everything okay?
I'm not even gonna.
Your energy is just like very bottom tier right now.
What? You were like, hey guys.
It's Mich.
What?
Hey y'all, it's Kui.
What's up, y'all? It's me.
Ooh, I got it wrong! Young Mich on the track.
You already know what it was when I signed up.
Alright, and this is The Raw. Welcome.
Welcome.
So today we're coming to you guys with a reflection video. So we're gonna give two pieces of, I guess it would be advice or like reflections that we wish we knew as college freshmen going through our freshman journey or our college journey. And then, yeah,
basically. So my first one is if I could go back to my freshman year self and chat with myself, I wish I would have known to relax a little bit more. I think just the nature of college could be very tense and pressure and stress inducing. And I think a lot of the times, given the environment that I was around, we were at UNC, you know, people are just all about the high achievement. You can definitely get roped into the pressures of achievement and excelling and like what that looks like. And so I don't think I was as relaxed as I could have been, even when I was like, not just in the classroom, but also in like extracurriculars. It was always something that was just like, I gotta. So, I mean, the 4 years happened and it passed, and like everything that was supposed to happen happened anyways. So I wish I would have known to like relax and chill out more during that time.
that's real. I think that my first piece of advice that I would have given myself is that majors matter more than people tell you that they do. I was a psychology major. What?
It's hilarious because the one I took away was that your major doesn't really matter.
I'm weak. No. I think that now that I'm in the place I am now, I'm realizing that certain majors do matter, and certain majors can take you to a place where there's not necessarily the need for you to have a second degree for you to go back to school. As much as people are like, oh yeah, go and get your like second degree, your master's, or go and get a PhD. And like that's all good and fine if you choose to do so, but there's certain majors that will set you up well enough where you don't have to do so. And so when I'm thinking off the top of my head, I'm thinking computer science, I'm thinking finance, I'm thinking business, like those type of majors. Like I said, I majored in psychology. And while that's all good and fine, like what jobs are there, like unless you're saying like you want to go into the psychology field, which I don't, like that psychology major doesn't help me, but it doesn't harm me, but it doesn't help me either. And I think that it's necessary for me to get a second degree if I want to like elevate in my career. And so I think that as much as people say majors don't matter, and you don't have to have the answers immediately during your freshman year, I think that some time should be spent thinking about what avenue you want to take and where you want to go.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, I think where I was coming from in the lens of like your major doesn't matter as much. Also, my second thing kind of goes with that was that you don't have to know exactly what you want to do.
I agree.
Which fed into me saying like pick a major that makes sense for your career path at the time, of course, and feel free to adjust and change that as you go. I think professionally for the first 2 or 3 years, the summer before your senior year is the absolute most crucial summer, and it sets you up for at least the next 2 years post graduation. And so the reason I say that is because that internship determines whether or not you get a full-time offer. It determines your most legitimate internship opportunity on your resume, and it determines how you will be looked at from recruiters going into your first year of post-grad. If that summer isn't treated well, you are not setting yourself up. And I think 70% of like Carolina, where I went to school, and like my mentees is like what you do that summer before your senior year is literally shaping you out. So if you choose to study abroad, work and things of that nature are going to see that experience. If you want to go into business, they're going to see that experience. If you worked on nonprofit, they're going to see that experience. And that experience is also going to shape your senior year, because a lot of times if you do well in that internship, you get a full-time offer, then you kind of cruise in senior year. If you do well in that internship and you don't get a full-time offer, you still have that internship to help you leverage as you're recruiting your senior year. So I would say that you don't necessarily have to be a certain major, but you have to use your summers very strategically.
But don't you think that even in landing those internships, that your major, as much as your experience, plays a factor into it? Like,
not as
internship
much as
applications are
post-college.
also. I agree, not as much as post college, but I think that internship applications also are like, oh, like they want to see that you have like you're studying in this related field and like that type of thing as well. So I still think that it plays a little part. Like I definitely absolutely agree with what you're saying about the senior summer. Would that be your junior summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for senior.
The summer, absolutely. But I think that, I don't know, I feel like I came in and people were just like, I was a track athlete in school and I picked psychology because it was, one, something I was interested in, but two, it was like the least amount of credits that could fit in my schedule while also like running track. And people were just like, you know, just pick a major that's easy that you can get, like you're at Columbia. So whatever degree you get a degree in, you'll be fine. But that's not entirely true. The Columbia definitely does like hit on my resume, but in terms of like my degree, I think that I wish I would have been more focused and like being more intentional about the major that I chose. So.
And I think also that like the other thing to that point too is the clubs that we have, and I'm only speaking from a business perspective, right? Like I don't really know. I mean, I have some background just because like of my friends who are pre-med and all those other things, but from a business perspective, we also had a thing called MBSA, Minority Business Student Alliance, and all recruiters came through that. So it's like whether you were like Draper, he was in the journalism school, an econ major, ended up at EY. Like it really never mattered what major you were. Like if you went through the pipeline of MBSA, that's where the recruiters were coming. Yeah. So
that makes sense. I think ideally just setting yourself up wherever you anticipate yourself being once you graduate from college, just placing yourself in the spaces and like setting yourself up to where you can get there versus like being like, oh, I'm an undergrad in college willy-nilly, let me just be a writing major, let me just whatever, just be intentional. So that was mine. You said mine led into yours, which was
the you don't have to know exactly.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then my second one that I wish I knew as a freshman, and I found out later, like as a junior, is that when you're in college, there's literally a resource for any and everything that you want to do. Like the finesse game is so strong, can be so strong if you allow it to. And it's like funds that you need to be able to start certain projects, or like whether it's study abroad opportunities, or even if it's just like getting to know a counselor who will be like, oh, let me slip you this, or let me like show you that this little opportunity is going on. Like there's resources all over, and I think that sometimes people go through college with the experience of like just wanting to have fun or just like wanting to like celebrate their 4 years, and they don't necessarily take advantage of all the things. I was doing so well ignoring it all.
It was that last straw.
It was the last one.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, she's coming back, so I'm just gonna sit here and allow it. Yeah, resources for everything. Just thinking about the fact that one of my friends was able to go on a study abroad opportunity using like 3 different resource funds. Like he paid for his entire trip study abroad, and so it's like, if you're not looking to finesse, you're not gonna find the finesse. But like if you have something that you want to do, or like just like connect with the staff on campus, the faculty and staff on campus, they'll always hold you down. And so my junior year, the staff loved me, even down to the cafeteria staff. They was making my favorite foods.
Oh my god, that's so good. So there was like, we had our campus, dining hall, there was like 2, and then we had this place called Granville. It was like on campus, off campus housing. And they have their own like cafeteria.
Yeah.
And so one of my friends lived over there, and like I got really good with the lady, and she would let me in all the time. They had better food too.
No, honestly, there was this one cafeteria man. His name was Dean. I would get like the same omelet breakfast, and so before I come, he'd see me and he'd be like,
Dean got a job. now Dean is fired.
Dean over. He would have my omelet ready to go, like with the croissants on the side, like when he'd see me, and I was just like, Dean.
Oh,
yeah, so
love that.
shout out to them. But yeah.
Any fun college memory that you want to share?
Y'all, she done wanted to tell this story so bad.
It's not even a story. No, it's not even a story.
Okay,
we have
well,
we have an outline for what we're gonna talk about in our YouTube video, and this is part of
What?
that. I just don't know why you acting like
No,
I
because
only have a narrative and you don't have one.
No, I absolutely have a narrative, but you said, oh, I want to do piece of advice and a story. So tell your story that you want to tell.
Tell yours first.
Why are you trying to...
Anyways, okay. She could really be, oh my gosh. Sometimes you gotta have...
You dragging it. Tell the story.
I'm so glad I have patience to deal with people like her. So, one of the things I said was like relax and enjoy. And I think, honestly... the having fun aspect of it, like I don't think my friends and I like ever fell short on that. We, for the most part, had a grand time. Our senior year, we got a huge group of us. I think it was like 10 of us, and we went to Cabo. And so we in Cabo, we ended up staying at this lavish Airbnb, but we didn't know this Airbnb was basically in like Sweden. Okay, so it was like 3 hours from actual Cabo. Like we would have to take a taxi. We'd be in that taxi 55 minutes. Can you imagine pre-gaming and getting the Uber taxi for 55 minutes?
You're sober. At that point, you're sober.
So we were just like, oh, that was the first thing that irritated us when it took us like an hour to get from the airport to the Airbnb. So we finally get to the Airbnb. We're like, oh, we in Cabo, we in Cabo, we in Cabo. First day, like, turn on, it's about to be a great time. So we're like, y'all, let's just go on a walk and like see the neighborhood. We didn't know where we were at. We didn't know what we were doing. So we walking out. We walk in, see the neighborhood, whatever. And then like MB and a few other people like go on top of like this hill to start taking like some pictures. MB is a photographer. MB can do photography. Check him out. It's great. He's a photographer. They're taking pictures. Then all of a sudden we hear woof woof from all around us.
Woof woof.
Like
dogs?
Dogs. 30 Cabonian dogs are barking. When I tell you there was no friends in the game. It's like we didn't know who was gonna make it back to the USA from every corner. The dog, so Winter Trip scrapes her knee. She's on the floor. Nobody. Winter, you're allowed to say it was in Cabo. Like we are taking. And then these dogs like all of a sudden like go back, and like from that moment like the trip, like we can tell there was a like awkward air, like because it's like at that moment we knew nobody was really nobody's friend. Like if you was gonna die, you was gonna die.
Y'all just showed yourself.
And it was one girl, Mike Hiller, she was fast, like she was gone. I was trying to tell her to hold up, and she looked back.
You were trying to tell her?
Kept going, yes.
Weren't you also running?
Yes.
Why you telling her to hold up?
Because she was in the front, so they was about to get her. So if I was with her, they wasn't gonna get me either. But
she was holding her back. That's the issue.
And that's like the first experience we had in Cabo. Getting chased by dogs. Now Winter can't even really take pictures all week because her whole leg is scarred.
That's crazy.
But it was great. Great trip.
One of the things I really do wish I had like, I guess invested in or thought about was like building my travel friend group, because I think that like my best friend group was like solid for all 4 years, but whenever we tried to plan trips, it was always like falling through. Like I remember the one time we was really about to plan a trip to Jamaica, and by the time we actually decided, because it was like nobody wanted to go to the same place because, you know, that's always a discussion where we're going to go. When we finally decided we're going to Jamaica, that's when Ebola virus broke out. And, like, our whole group of friends, like, dropped out. And it was down to 2 of us. And we were like, me and Chelsea were like, we're not about to just go to Jamaica by ourselves, like, split the cost. And so we went to, like, different states, but, like, out-of-state trips, like, missed out on that. Yeah.
But I mean, it's now, right?
That's true.
We can go to Jamaica.
If it's one thing Micheline will do, she'll invite herself anywhere.
I don't like how you
If it's
try
one thing.
to shine me in the bad light.
Yeah, so that's all we have for y'all today.
Yeah. You know, let us know where, you know, if you have any other questions, if you are still in college about what we said specifically, or if you were to give advice to yourself as a first year in college, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah. And as always, don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. Okay.
And also turn on the notification button so you never miss an episode.
Exactly. Coming to you real, live, and direct
from
the Raw. Bye, y'all.